Oh, hello. I didn't realise you were there. What we're actually doing today is we're checking timing, cumulative effect, and magical fairy dust. Yes, that's right. We're going to have some magical fairy dust. Yes, I can tell you're all very excited. I'll just quickly describe what's going on. The blue parts here, that's Midi data. And the green parts are the outputs coming from the S770, going into the sound card, coming through Ableton's inputs. And obviously the Midi is being sent to the S770. But it's not just like using a Midi cable or USB. I'm using a little box from Expert Sleepers called Usamo. I think that's how you call it, USAMO. What it does, it takes its timing from the AnyDAW, its internal sample accurate clock, and then through a bit of jiggery pokery, basically what it does, it converts audio to MIDI, sends the MIDI out to the real world hardware, and you're getting sample accurate. At least the MIDI's been sent out sample accurate. Now the question is, does the box, the hardware, is its internal timing good? Because not something that quite a lot of people don't seem to know. Not every piece of hardware that receives MIDI deals with it in a timely fashion. Some bits of gear out there, I'm not going to name any just now, but are really quite atrocious. So we're going to check to see if the S770 has atrocious timing. Let's hear what's happening. So just one thing I want to explain. The red line that you'll see here, what it is, this is the Usamo box. And then, this is the thing that converts the MIDI and sends it out. And as you can see here, there's pitch bend information, which is, I've assigned the pitch bend not to do pitch, but to trigger the S770 filters. So first of all, we're going to check the timing, right? I can confirm the timing is absolutely spot on, and I always knew that because I used an S750 on over 200 separate records, and it was used extensively on just about every one of those records, and I never noticed anything going out of time. That was back in the days I was still using Atari then. So timing is good. Now cumulative effect, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Look, I think what we need to hear is the magical fairy dust, right? So, no magical fairy dust. Not bad, but you'd be itching to get something on that. But let's put on some magic. Now, I can see some of you saying, oh, it's just reverb and delay. Yeah, but there's something magical about this reverb and delay. And what it is, it's the DP4, the Ensoniq DP4. See the difference? It's kind of huge. But do you hear how it really enhances what's going on there, rather than it's kind of just some effects, you know? Look, here's what I've found over the years. I've searched every VST in the known universe to get a delay that sounds, a delay and reverb actually, that sounds like a DP4. Now, it's not that I think these delays and reverbs are the best delay and reverb ever. Not the case at all. But there is something about how it interacts with the sound. Before I had the DP4, I remember hating the Alesis quad reverb that I had. I really hated that effect unit. It was like I turned the reverb on, and it would sit on top of the sound. And it wasn't just the quad reverb. I've had loads of effects units, and I ended up keeping none of them, because I always felt they just sat on top of the sound, right? It was like another layer. And they would either like just be sort of there in your face, or like gone, vanished, right? But not the DP4. I find that the DP4 has always blended in. It becomes part of the sound rather than, hey, I'm just going to sit on top of it. I did use the DP4 for about a year, and I was working entirely in the box, just VSTs and all that, and I thought I'll bring out the DP4, plug it in, and I never got it to gel with the in the box sound, VSTs and all that. Just never got it to gel. So I concluded after many years of pondering, literally, that the S-range sampler, the sound that it produces, along with the DP4, it's like they were a perfect match. It was pure luck, pure fortunate series of happy accidents that I ended up with an S-range sampler and a DP4. And those two alone, like I say, I used in over 200 records, but they played a big part in those records. I mean, every single record these things were used, you know. So you really hear the effect coming in. Are you thinking that's just like, those effects are far too loud, they're totally in your face? I don't think so, but then again, I like what the delay and the reverb does to the sounds. It's not a huge amount, but in the context of the whole thing. Now, so what was the real point of this video? Well, like I say, we were checking timing, so tick the box there, good. Cumulative effect, I just happen to know, you're just going to have to take my word for it, that if you use a lot of elements coming out of an S-range sampler and a bit of filter action and all that, there's a sound there, there's something going on. And I'm not saying this is a particularly good example of a little loop going on, but some of the records I've done, you would really hear it and you'd be like, wow, that's amazing that all that came from one sampler, basically. Now, the magical fairy dust. I think it's personal to me, but I also do believe these two were a perfect match. I just happen to really like that, what the DP4 does to the sound.
Spacey, yeah. Spacey magical fairy dust.
You can see there's quite a lot of MIDI data going on. Not so much in notes. What these little dots represent is the polyphony. It's 24-note polyphonic, but we're not taxing it at all there in note-wise, and it's fine. The timing is still fine. I know that I could put use another 4 parts, 4 different MIDI channels, and it would be fine, no problem at all. I probably should have had it on the performance page, but there you go. I just thought I'd let you hear the effects individually there. So that was that. Thanks for watching.